Good morning. Today we are working on PO47. I can identify and plot ordered pairs on the coordinate plane. So we're working with those inequalities. Layla, put your attention up top. Yep, he dropped something. Working with inequalities, and now we're shifting gears to work with those ordered pairs. We did graphing at Christmas time. So this shouldn't be too far from our memory on how to work with those ordered pairs. So we're going to go through a few things with our coordinate plane so we know everything that we need to know. We didn't go really in depth when we were graphing our holiday pictures. We're just doing a little bit more. Okay, so let's begin with the review of the coordinate plane. It says label the x-axis and the y-axis. Who remembers which one goes across?
Y. Sorry, X.
Yeah, the x goes across. So our x is that line that goes straight across. So that means our y goes up and down. So you should be labeling in your binders, on your binder page, label your x and y. Label your x and y, just like I did. What I do on the board, you do on your binder page. So do you see where no, up here, hon. Look at where I am. I'm up at that top graph. X goes across, the y goes up and down. Now it says label each quadrant. How many quadrants do we have? Cameron? 4. We can see the 4 different sides. We can see on our x and the y that 0 is right in the middle. The 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s go out from the 0. If we go to the right on the x-axis, it's just like our number line. Going to the right is our positive numbers. Going to the left is the negative. For our y, it's like a thermometer. So think about how going up on the thermometer is the positives. Going down is the negatives. Okay, so negative temperatures go down on that thermometer. So we know negative numbers are when you count down. So our coordinates, our first coordinate, we have positive x's and positive y's. So that's a Roman numeral 1. So it looks like an I. That means 1. So quadrant 1, both the x and the y will be positive numbers. Because when we go to the right, they are positive. And when we go up, they are positive. So this box, if any of those ordered pairs in that box, will be all positives. So if we go to quadrant 2, what kind of number are my x's going to be in quadrant 2? Say it louder.
Negative.
Negative. When we go to the left on the x, they're going to be negative. The y's going up will be negative or positive. Okay? Positive. So in quadrant 2, every ordered pair in there has a negative x and a positive y. Now we come down to quadrant 3. So we always start, our ordered pairs are always x, y. Always, always, always like the alphabet, x, y, z. X always comes first. So quadrant 3, are my x's positive or negative? Yeah?
Negative.
And what are our y's? Negative. Because our x's go to the left, so they're negative, and our y's come down, so they are negative. So quadrant 3 will always be negative, negative. So that's your way of checking, did I put my ordered pair in the right place? If it was a negative, negative, I know it's going to end up in quadrant 3. Our last quadrant is quadrant 4. What are my x's going to be? Positive or negative? I know Cam knows. Who else knows? Lilia? Positive x. What is our y going to be? Negative. So those are our 4 quadrants on our coordinate plane. Quadrant 1 is positive, positive for x and y. Quadrant 2 is a negative x, positive y. Quadrant 3 is a negative x, negative y. And quadrant 4 is positive x, negative y. So then he says the coordinate plane is kind of like the classic game Battleship. So when you play Battleship and you want to try to hit your opponent's ship and you tell them what coordinate you want them to look at if they have a ship at, it's kind of like that. All right, let me erase so I can scroll up. Every ordered pair is written as the XY, like I've already talked about, where the X is the number on the X-axis, the Y is the number on the Y-axis. The point on the plane is where those two numbers intersect, just like Battleship. So you want to bomb that specific spot, right? So you always do the X first, and then you do the Y. So we need to plot each point on the coordinate plane below. So in our first section, we are going to take each one of these ordered pairs and we're going to plot it. So my first one is 3, 2. So what's the first number I'm going to find? Madeline? The 3. The 3 is our X, so you can write your XY so you remember. I'm going to always start at 0, and I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3. Now my Y is 2, so I go up 1, 2. So my first point, I'm just going to draw my circle right at that intersection. So I'm going to put a little check mark, or I'm going to cross it off to say, yep, I plotted that one. Now I'm going to do my next one, 0, 3. If X is 0, how many do I count over on the X, Zelda?
You count 0.
You count 0, so you're right here at the 0. That's the easiest one. I don't have to count anywhere. I just stay at 0. My Y is 3. So I go up 1, 2, 3, and I'm actually on that Y axis. X is 0, so I'm going to be right on that Y axis at the 3. Then I can cross that one off. Does that make sense? Do you want to do one more together, or are you good?
Yep.
You good?
Yep.
Okay, let's look at our next graph. This time it says write the ordered pair of each plotted point. So there is a shape at different points. So I need to look at, this is a circle. So I'm going to find my circle. I'm going to say, okay, I need to write the X and the Y. I'm going to put it in parentheses because that's how we write ordered pairs. So we need to have our parentheses. What is my X? So if I want to plot this point, my circle, what is the X I'm going to put, Lilia? 1. Because if I go straight down to my X, I'm at the 1, positive 1. What is my Y? Connor? I'm right here. What's the Y?
2.
2. I'm going to go over to that Y-axis and I'm at 2. So my ordered pair is 1, 2. Let's look at our square. I'm going to put my parentheses, my comma, and my parentheses. I need to find my X. What is the X? Now, make sure you're noticing that our numbers go with the lines, not the space. So it's not right on the line, but it stands for that line. So if the, right here is 0, -1 is right here. -2 is right here. It's where those lines cross. So what is my x coordinate? Sawyer? Going for the square. -3. Is it important that we remember that negative sign?
Yes.
Most definitely, otherwise we'd be in a whole different spot on our coordinate plate. What is my y? Cam? 0. I didn't go up at all. It is sitting right here on the x-axis. I didn't go up at all, so I know my y is a 0. Any questions on this page? You're going to fill in either plotting on this side or filling in the ordered pair on that side. When you are finished, you can work on your Khan Academy or your math packet. Okay. I think I have one person who has their math packet at 100%. So everybody has work to do. That is due on Tuesday, tomorrow. So math packets are due tomorrow. Work on your math packet. If you are done with your math packet, work on your Khan Academy. If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well. I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.